What's going on? Brian Carroll here, powerlifting.com HQ, here on the racetrack. I want to talk about a couple of the reasons. I'm going to go into this deeper in the video series that I'm doing with Cam about the 1306 squat last year. But I want to give a little bit of insight as to why I kind of knew that was going to be my last meet going into it, and why I'm at peace with everything. Now, nothing is perfect. You're not going to have complete peace. I don't think you will. Walking away from something that you've been doing for 22 years and that you love, and I mean, I've been doing powerlifting longer than I've been doing anything else, pretty much. You know, I played baseball for 11 years or something like that, and you know, I've more than doubled that with powerlifting. So there's always going to be things that you wish you would have done, numbers that you wish you would have hit, things of that nature. That's never ending. You know, just like these fighters, you know, let's use Khabib Nurmagomedov there, Khabib. You know, he's 29-0. You know, he wanted to go out, maybe fighting George St. Pierre, you know, getting a 30-0. There's always going to be more that these people want to do. Whether there's someone that's the elite of the elite like Khabib, or someone like me that's just a powerlifter that always looks back and like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I wish I could do that. One big thing that I wanted to do, writing the book, Gift of Injury with Dr. McGill, the thing that I wanted to do was come back and get my record back from Dave Hoff, who broke my 1185 all-time world record at 275. He broke that 2 years after I set it with 12:10 at 275 when he went over 3,000 with 3,005 in August of 2013. So that fired me up, and I really wanted to get the squat back. And that was the conversation I had with Stu. I want to get my record back. And that's when he told me I'm done, you know? So that it all kind of started there. And to be honest with you, I never really thought that I'd be able to squat over 1,200 pounds again, just because of the limitations I had. Now, you may ask, what are the limitations? Well, if you read Gift of Injury, you heard me talk about that my body weight, my body and my back would not cooperate with me when I started weighing over 270 pounds. So for the years 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, anytime I approached 270 plus, 275, 280, my body just didn't feel good. Now, if you go back to 2014, when I didn't make it through the Arnold in the first phase of my comeback with Dr. McGill, you know that I realized I was too heavy at the time. My body didn't like all that compression day to day. So once I took my body weight down from the 290 range back down to, say, 270, 265, everything was good. I picked back up. I went down to 242 and had a really good run for about 3 years there. 14, 15, 16, 17. I had won the Arnold a couple more times, won the US Open, hit multiple top 2 totals at 242. But my time at 242 was something I knew wasn't going to last forever, because I had to try so dang hard to keep my body weight down. So eventually I kind of just stepped away and just let whatever happened to my body weight happen. And then eventually, slowly, as I went over 270, 280, 290, as we were working on getting my fertility back and such, next thing I know, I was 290, my body didn't hurt. So from there, I was able to build a solid core. I went up slowly, and next thing you know, I felt good at 300 pounds. And that changed everything. I felt so much stronger. All the time I took to build my core, regroove my squat and all that stuff, it felt really good. So I was pretty fortunate that everything came together like that. But I know that it's not going to continue to be like that forever. I just can't continue to push my body without severe consequences. And like I was saying before I kind of went into a rant there, I knew that this meet was probably gonna be my last. I didn't have the love for dedicating all the time and effort for a meet. Now, I'm not talking about the travel. I'm not talking about the training. I'm not talking about the supplements. I'm talking about people having to deal with you day to day when you are myopically focused on hitting world record lifts that nobody cares about. It does something to you where you're pretty isolated at times. You know, people don't understand why you're so obsessed with something that seemingly means so little, but it's all I've known forever. With that said, I recognize now how difficult it makes people to be around me. I'm difficult to be around when I'm super focused. So I saw a little bit of that with the way I was interacting with the babies a little bit, distracted, checked out at sometimes. So I knew that the lifting is fine, the supplements are even fine to a certain extent, but I just don't want to continue pushing and being distracted anymore. I don't love it. You know, these meets are shit shows a lot of the time, that we spend all this time and money and effort, blood, sweat, and tears to get to a meet, and it's unorganized. They don't have good equipment there. It's like a bunch of Mickey Mouses are running the dang meet, and it's been like that for a long time. Now it's come to the point where it's just not worth it to me. I have a choice to kind of walk away, and when I say I have a choice, I wasn't ready to walk away earlier, so it wasn't really a choice for me. Even though I had the choice, I really didn't believe I had one. So the writing was on the wall for a long time, and I don't really think I could go out in a better way than that. You know, I could revisit some things, retool my bench like I did my squat, and get a 900-pound bench. You know, the most I ever bench was 850 in the gym, 825 in a meet. So I left a lot of untapped potential in my bench, and that frustrates me a little bit, but it's time to move on. It's time to help as many people as possible. It's time to get healthy. There's an old saying, don't go to the well, don't draw to the well too many times. And I don't want to get burned doing the same old thing over and over and playing with fire with the supplements and the pressure, mental and physically, of hitting a big lift. You know, the stress of it from a physiological standpoint and psychological when you're under the bar. I'm just ready for these young guys to kind of take over. They're doing crazy things anyway with the deadlifts and the raw lifts, and, you know, lifting's kind of taken off big time the last few years. So it's time for me to work on coaching more and honing my craft with that, and let these young guys that have young blood in them, you know, kind of do their thing. And it's time for me to step aside and figure out the next few parts of my life. So that's a little insight. The stress is the biggest thing. You know, the physical stuff is a big part of it too. You know, I don't want to have a stroke or a heart attack, you know, unnecessarily. Even if I have earned a couple of those by now, I haven't had any, but, you know, playing with fire. So it's just one of those things. I felt it was time to walk away, and I'm about as good with it as you can be. I mean, I'm still haunted by some lifts that I missed and numbers that I never hit, but that will always be the case. I'll never be able to do enough good things going forward to erase or make up for the things that I feel that I could do better in the past. So the 1306 was a good way to go out, and I'm good with that. So keep your eyes peeled, stay on the lookout for more about the 1,300-pound squat, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Please subscribe, like, and share the video. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from me, what you think about the videos, and everyone have a great day, and thank you so much.